Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. So I've already closed my March budget in my planner. So now I'm here to close my March budget in my EveryDollar. I have some transactions that need to be taken care of and we will go ahead and take care of that. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to add these transactions. Now this will, you're going to see overages in some of these categories over here. And I'm going to adjust for all that and show you how I do that so I can see how much is being balanced forward to or rolling over, or the buffer rolls over for the month of April. And I've already started setting up my April, but I'm not quite complete. I haven't changed anything. Whatever numbers are in here on March rolled over to April, and you have to go back and adjust. So if you have different budget amounts that you want to change, then that's when you do it, when you start your new budget. So we'll be doing that as well today. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to go over here, and the Apple comm bill, the 99¢, that's just my storage fee, 99¢ storage fee for my Apple phone and products. So I'm going to drag this over here. That bill got paid, a subscription, whatever you want to call it. And then I've got restaurant, miscellaneous, grocery, and let's see, restaurant, grocery. So mostly grocery, restaurant. So I'm just going to go back to the top. I favorite 4 categories. There's 4 or 5 common transactions. So they're already at the top, and I don't have to keep scrolling up and down. They're already right here in my favorites. So the Chick-fil-A, yep, I love Chick-fil-A. That will go in my restaurants right here. And then Etsy is a miscellaneous purchase that I made. And then Food Line, grocery. Oh, grocery budget. Blown. It just, it's blown. It's really blown. Which one is this? Food Line. Okay. Harris Teeter. Papa John's, that's a restaurant, and a Walmart. And this is a grocery, I believe. Let me double check my planner. Make sure I did not mistakenly put something else. It was $53.90. Yeah, that was right. Okay, so we're good there. I also have one more. I don't have the transaction loaded. As you can see, I pay for EveryDollar. When I paid for the course last summer, EveryDollar paid app came with the course that I purchased through my church for the class, Dave Ramsey's class. By the way, if you're interested in Dave Ramsey's class, he's doing a 2-week free access to the app, the professional providers, the paid version of this, everything. You get 2 weeks to try it out and see if you like it for free, and then purchase afterwards. So if you just want to try it for 2 weeks and cancel, just save some money so you don't have to purchase, yeah, go for it. If it's something you've been interested in and want to try, this is a great opportunity. He wants to make it free. I did see him say this in one of his YouTube clips that I watch. I don't watch his full, I can't listen to him all the time. Oh my gosh. He's just, Chris Hogan I can deal with a lot better than I can Dave Ramsey. I can listen to Chris Hogan. I like that deep voice that he's got, and he's from Kentucky. My family's from Kentucky, so I kind of understand where he's coming from when he talks. So, but Dave Ramsey, sometimes things he says, it's like, oh Lord, be with us. Anyway, but there is one transaction that is not here. As you can see, I'm having some trouble with my accounts. I'm not really having trouble. What my bank had done, and you may come across this too, was set up extra firewalls. Because when there is a pandemic, when there is a, what do they call it, natural disaster, or whatever situation is going on that impacts globally or a region, hackers like to hack and get money any way that they can. So that's a problem. So they've added extra firewalls, which I have to go in here, reset my, not reset, but kind of update my login before the transactions will come through. And I have to do it every day. So I haven't done that since that last transaction, but I'm going to manually put in one last transaction that I know I haven't gotten brought over. Hello. Oh, there we go. This is what I need. For my groceries, that's going to really show you how much I've blown the budget. You think that's bad? Ooh. $130.99. This was a Walmart transaction. And I'm going to put an X. So when I manually put it in, and I know eventually it's going to transfer from the bank to here, I just put a little X next to it. That X says I'm the one that put it in. So that's just a trick I do. Nobody else has to do it, but I do it. And this was just me, and I did this on the 30th. And right here you can see today's the 2nd. This day, my husband got his retirement check and disability check. So I knew money was coming. I had plenty in my buffer. I did it this day because this is the day that our governor, I went to the grocery store and got as many supplies as possible. Our governor announced that he'd already announced that schools closed for the rest of the year, but he also announced that it is an order to stay home. It's not just a recommendation to stay 6 feet apart and stay home and not be out in public spaces. And the weather got really warm and the beaches started getting crowded. And nobody was staying 6 feet apart. And so they closed the beaches unless you're exercising or fishing. So swimming is an exercise. If you're jogging, taking long walks, walking your dog or whatever. But if you're just lounging and gathering in groups with your friends, there's a problem. So, and they'll ask you, especially if it starts getting 10 or more, they'll make you leave. Because he made it an order, it can also be considered a fine or a misdemeanor. You would be charged with a misdemeanor, and then you could be fined and jailed. But the last thing he wants to do is put anybody in jail, because you don't want to spread the coronavirus in jail either and wipe out a whole population that way. I mean, it's a crazy world right now. So this is the time we're living in. So on the 30th, that's what, when he made that announcement, I was just like, okay, my computer is not responding. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm not doing that. Okay, now that it's responding. So I'm going to track that expense, and this is going to give the real number. I'm just going to check my records. Yep, that's the real number of what is in my groceries. Now, one thing I did not do this last week of March was get HelloFresh. I actually skipped a week. Not because we couldn't afford it, not because we didn't want to, because they didn't really offer anything we really wanted for dinner, so it's like, yeah, I've bought plenty. Obviously, $850 budgeted plus the $623 or $26 for groceries. I've got plenty of groceries. Not a problem. I can skip a week. So that's what my husband and I decided to do. If we find weeks we're just not seeing anything we want, then we won't order HelloFresh. We'll just skip a week. See, restaurants. My restaurant is not in order. I show over here it's $5.50 over, and this is showing $20.42 over. I'm not sure that's the difference. Okay. See, this is why I put an X, because I forgot when this transaction came over that this needed to be taken out. I forgot to delete it. So now I'm going to delete it. There we go. That's what my records say. And this is why you paper budget and electronically budget. You can check and balance yourself a little bit doing that. I'm going to look at my miscellaneous, which right on the penny, and my gasoline. So even though I'm over in these categories, this kind of covers these two. because they really don't go over $60 there, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah, they don't go over $60. And then I have this. So what I'm going to do is I can't talk. So what I'm going to do is go through and adjust all these and make this not be negative anymore. So I can have an accurate amount of rollover or balance forward or cushion or whatever you want to call this. So when it rolls to the next month, it's to the penny. So the first thing I do when I am dealing with my March budget or closing out a budget is whatever the balance forward is, I zero this out because I know I'm going to have to make adjustments. I'm going to delete all that. That was my buffer. I used some of that buffer, but I'm just going to make it 0. Obviously, I didn't balance forward anything from February, and that was on purpose. So there's nothing remaining, nothing's there. And then I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to take out, let's see. Yeah, that's where it is. You can kind of see in this upper corner here how much is spent, and I could change these numbers into that, and it should, if I remember correctly, show there, 0. That's how much I've left to budget. All right, so here I'm gonna scroll this up. I'm gonna take this out. Oops. Nope, that's not what I want. This is what I want. There we go. And then it's simple enough. Okay, so there's that. And I only put 50 cents, didn't I? That's funny. Okay, I hear noises out my window, so if I'm looking back, I'm pretty sure my grass cutting guy is not coming until Friday because of how much it rained yesterday, but it sounds like he's here, so I will check that later. I haven't picked up his cash yet, so I need to go do that. So I'm going to take this out, and then I'm going to put back in, not that one, there we go, $494.13, and that's zeroed out. So what do you do with these? Well, essentially you just put that back into your rollover. So what I'm going to do here is the same thing I've been doing all along. Let's see. I've only spent $252.12, so that's what I'm going to name this. $252.12. And once you do that, it zeroes it out and it increases your left to budget. So my buffer went up. Same here with my gas. So I'm only going to go here and then there we go. I only spent $180, which is, I never go under 200, but I think because the gas prices are so low right now and people are staying home and there's not a big demand for them. I even saw gas prices, I don't know about where you live, but $1.75 or 79 or something like that. I haven't seen $1.70 since the 90s. I don't know. Late 90s. It's been so long. So anyway, I'm still kind of blown away by it. And when you have a big SUV, you're used to spending $40, $50 worth of gas. So I'm glad that the gas prices are low and we're doing okay. So there's my groceries. Obviously, I budgeted $850, not knowing the pandemic was going to hit, and I just blew right through it. I did almost $1,500 there, so I'm fine with that. We had enough buffer to do it. And I'm only rolling over $723.27. I'm going to go through the rest of my transactions, the rest of the EveryDollar, make sure nothing is standing outstanding. I am rolling over $100 for Orkin. Travel expense deposit was made to the savings account. I see zeros remaining all the way down. As long as there's zeros remaining all the way down, I have no adjustments to do. So yeah, everything looks good. Now that is happening, oops, I need to go sinking fund. So my balance forward, my buffer amount, this is what's going to roll over into April. So I have $723.27. Yes, that's going to roll over. It's an EveryDollar budget. I assigned a buffer for next month. And now I am going to go to April. Yes. Okay. So here we are in April. It gave the same. For some reason, gasoline's on top. I don't know why that happened. Well, it won't let me do it. There's a way of moving it down, but I'll do it later. So, anyways, I think I accidentally deleted it out of my favorites and had to put it back in. It just puts it back in the top. That's why it's in a different order, but that's okay. But I budgeted the same as last month. As far as our income goes, my husband's job, if you see my last video where I showed my planner budget, the way I wrote it out, he's working from home still. He's contractor for the Navy, so that's why he does travel, and that's why he does get overtime sometimes. Right now he's getting 0 overtime because he's not going anywhere. So I left the budget the same because our income didn't really change. I never count overtime unless it shows up. And even if I do, it usually goes to debt or savings, one of the two. Right now we're just doing strictly savings. I'm not doing a snowball debt. I'm not doing extra payments. I'm making my minimum payments unless I decide otherwise that a little extra money wouldn't hurt. And so I may do that. I may not. We'll see. So right now, these are my actual budgets. The HelloFresh, let me look at my calendar here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's too many. So I need to figure out 62. I'm using my little phone calculator here. 63.28, I believe it is, times 4. So I'm going to budget, because last month there were 5 Mondays. This month there's only 4 Mondays, and I get charged on Mondays. My packages show up on Friday for HelloFresh, but my charges always happen that Monday before. So I'm going to budget for the 253.12, and oops. Now I have 62. That means it needs to be 63. No, that's right. That's right. Because one of the, anyways, it's something from last month. I know what that is. Okay, so that's good there. Restaurants, we're still like this morning I went to Chick-fil-A while I was out trying to find toilet paper. Why can't anybody find toilet paper? And why is everybody hoarding it? I don't know. We have not had a diarrhea problem in the country. So what's going on? So I just know companies can't keep up with the demand of people actually buying toilet paper, and people that need it can't get it. I was starting to get a little scared, but I actually got lucky. I got very lucky and got one package, and at a Target out of my area. I kind of traveled a little bit to get there, so, and that's fine. Restaurants and miscellaneous. So I'm still going to keep the budget the same as far as how much I hope to spend. Is the grocery budget going to be blown? Probably. Is the gas budget going to be blown? Probably not. We're not driving much. We're not going anywhere. HelloFresh won't be blown. Restaurants, I'm pretty sure, won't be blown. But then again, we might do a lot of drive-through just because we're tired of cooking at home. So that's a possibility. Miscellaneous. I don't think we're going to blow that budget this month. I normally wouldn't have last month for the post office, shipping internationally and getting the P.O. box. So I think we're good there. I think we're really good. Balance forward. So this is what, is that right? This is what I had set up my, whatchamacallit. Okay. Yeah, I had set up, I already have my income in here that I had for last month, and I haven't changed it yet. So that's actually way too high. So I'm going to have to take some of that out. Um, but last month, if you could see here, the remaining, what we budgeted, or what we budgeted for balance forward is in the remaining already. And then I just have to adjust income and expenses as I go. Like I said, tithings usually don't change hardly at all unless he is it gets overtime. Then we do make an adjustment for that. And then the income up here says the exact same income as last month, and that's not accurate. I got to go back and change that, and I'll do that later after I get off here because we don't show income or tithing offerings. Um, let's see. I saved $100 from last month, and I'm going to save another 100 for Orkin. That's the only sinking fund because it's due in May, and I just want to make sure I'm not doing any sinking funds until this virus thing is over, and I'm just putting everything into savings. Just our emergency fund is depleted. I hope to this month replenish that to $1,000. Now, there are 3 emergency funds that I kind of keep track of, and they're for 3 different reasons. One is a buffer emergency fund, as I call it. This amount that I have right here, my buffer, that needs to be $1,000 for me to feel comfortable. It's not quite there, but I can make up the difference with what's left to budget. I like that $1,000 buffer in case, some emergency happens and we need to go travel and need a hotel and just for a night or two or whatever, and we can use our debit card and just pay for it right away. Or we have a run on the grocery stores like we have, and we need to spend a few $100s to get caught up before all the grocery stores run out of everything. That's what I used the buffer last month for. I had $1,200 and it dropped to $723. So, and we were willing to spend that money, but we still had enough to carry over. The other place I keep $1,000 is the $1,000 baby step emergency fund. That goes in my savings account. That I never use. I did use in March to pay February's Orkin bill that we put on our credit card, not knowing this epidemic was going to hit us the way it is. But hopefully between this month and next month, we should be able to replenish it, and we should be okay. Once this $1,000 is built up, we're just going to throw everything into savings, and we're just going to save, and that will be our 3 to 6 month. Now this I've already done, so I'm going to change this to $495. I think it was. There. Yes. So I transferred. I already did the bank side of things, just not my tracking side. I did transfer $495 because my husband's VA education was a little bit more than that, and we could transfer that amount to make it to $720. So if my husband does go out with a ship and he's gone for 2 months straight, normally his expenses are about $720. I keep that in the bank all the time, and we just kind of recycle it over and over again. He goes out, he spends $720, the company reimburses that and gives it back to us. We put it back in the savings next time he goes out. So we're not gaining or losing anything by it. It just helps him keep track, and we don't have to dip into our money and our savings. We have a designated savings account, or not savings account, but designated savings placeholder for just travel expense. Sometimes I call it travel expense deposit or savings, depending on what I'm thinking of at the time. Visa prepaid Go card. There is no money going on the Go card this month. Usually the VA education benefits, since he's been getting them, I have him put it on this prepaid card that he has from our bank. There's no extra fees for it. There's no extra charges or anything. That's why he uses it, to keep it separate from our account. And by keeping it separate from our account, he can spend the money pretty much however he wants. So that's his personal money, and I just, that's for him. When he does have an expense that needs to be subtracted out of savings, this is where I expense it on our travel things. So these are my husband's exclusives. Occasionally I'll throw something in there that has nothing to do with him. I just need a place to put it. It's just an expense. but most of the time it's just these two things. And we have no travel, so no travel expenses. And the VA education was to replenish that deposit. Instead of going to his prepaid card, it went to savings. We're saving everything, no matter where it's coming from. We have our mortgage. I need to change, and this is kind of cool. You can go in the title and edit the title, and I change it to natural gas, and then I put the date that it's due, so it's due on the 6th, and then I put the amount, and because it's right here in the title, it immediately reminds me, oh, I gotta change how much that is. But I do it in March's budget, so when it rolls over, it shows this, and that's the only reason why I do that. Let's see, what else have we got here? The electric went up because we started using the air conditioner because we had a few really warm days. 64. So that went up. The natural gas went down. Security system stayed the same. City utilities, I'm going to do $100. We actually pay our city utilities every other month. Let me restate. We get a bill every other month. I pay it every single month. So on the months I don't have a bill, I pay $100. On the months we do have a bill, it can be just above or below $100. So we average about $200 and we're good to go. Cell phone, I don't know what the bill's going to be this month because it's due at the end of the month and they haven't given us the new charges. So there's that. There's our gas, no oil change, taxes. Here we go. So in March, in my March notes, which I do notes month in review, I decided that I needed to put at least $112.50 to this because I bought new tires and had a couple oil changes on my vehicle. So those things were taken care of. I need to take care of. So that's a bill for this month. It's $13.50, and if you divide it by 12, you can pay it off in 12 months. And I have a 12 months no interest or zero interest on this card, and so I'm able to buy the tires and not pay any penalties or interest or anything like that. These, what I changed above in the favorites, here's where they are in the categories. They changed down here too. I'm going to take this out because, we're social distancing, and the young lady that cuts my hair and colors my hair, I love her. She's awesome. That's not happening. I don't know. My husband's growing his hair out. One of my sons just never gets a haircut. His hair is like all the way down his back. My other son, he likes it cut. I think I will cut his hair, and there's no styling it. It's a number 2 guard on your clippers, and you just trim it all over, and then he's done. So he likes that. He prefers that. These stay the same. I don't see anything new here. I am going to put $7.99 here. I think that's the cost. It's supposed to start now, but I'm not sure. So it may pop up. So I'm just going to have and put it in here so we have the money for it. Medical insurance for my son, auto insurance, life insurance. We might have something here, so I'm going to put $55. My husband has a CPAP machine. This is where his CPAP machine supplies come from, and that's it. That's all I have for that. Asthma, I don't know if they're going to, I haven't even called. I really need to call and see if they're doing shots. If they are, I'll go in and do them. I think today's Thursday. I can do them today. School loan, I'm only going to do $100. This Visa, I am not spending this kind of money. I will adjust that because if I actually make that disappear, it will make that really large. So yeah, I'm going to wait. Anyways, that was last month's. That's going to be 1,000. I'll go ahead and do it. It's going to make this really large. What's going to be in there is not our income. It's actually a combination of deposits that I did from the previous month to pay off the Visa. But what we owe this month, let me find out, 86.6. This is what we actually owe. So it's going to be that number. We don't have that, nowhere near, not even close to, for the month. I had put almost $8,000 in our checking from combined savings and cash and deposits, and withholding from paying $1,350 on my school loan snowball debt. That was to pay for, and it's just still in my income section, which I haven't changed, and I have to do that after I leave. So that's not going to make any sense. So ignore this number completely. This is $65 for my landscaper to come and cut grass. So we have one, two. I'm going to do 2 this month. 65 times 2. I don't math in my head well, so I have to use a calculator. So I'm going to budget $130. I got to go to the bank and get his cash. And I have no plans to be calling the pest control or plumbing or heating people, so... Oh, here you go. I can move this like that. I need to go to the top and do that and see if I can do that. So there, I did try this for a little while, but it doesn't really sync with my credit card well, and I just don't like using this debt with the balance and the planned and the paid so far in the paid version. I don't like it. I despise it. So I just don't use it. I don't even want to figure it out. I don't want to do the mental math to adjust it to make it work. I don't use this debt thing at all. I've tried, and I can't stand it. I added a category, add a group. I named it debt, and I put my school loan, and what I plan to pay, and what I'm going to pay, and what I have it, whether I've paid it or not. That's all I really want to know. I don't need to know interest. I don't need to know any of that stuff. I can month to month, add that interest in later. I just want to know how much is coming out of my checking account to pay that debt. That's it. That's all. I don't care about anything else. So, wow, I have this in 2 places. I just realized that. I think I'm going to take it. It is considered a debt. But I've always had it in here. It doesn't matter if it's in this debt or if it's in the, where do I want it? I think I'm going to delete this. There we go. Because it's 0 interest, I don't really consider it a debt, but I do plan on paying it. Where's it at? There we go. Here it is. So I'll keep the category here because it is part of transportation. It is part of the stuff worked on the car. So yeah, we're good there. Okay, so this is my EveryDollar budget. This number is not accurate. I haven't changed my income from last month, and it's way over. And most of that was from a savings that we had. So ignore that, but everything else is pretty much accurate, and that's my budget. And I'm pretty sure we'll blow the grocery budget in the household, but we'll see. Everything else, it looks really good. It really, really does. So I think we're okay. And I will check in at the end of March and show you how the numbers look for March and where we went over budget or if we stayed under budget for this pandemic. I have no idea. And these are just uncertain times. So I do want to say, though, I am a person of faith. So if you have a prayer request or a prayer need, you can put them in the comments below. I said this in my last video. If you don't want to state specifically what your prayer is, you don't have to. Just say, pray for me, and then that's it. Because the Lord knows what your needs are. And I would love to pray for you. If you want to private message me through an email, I'll put an email in the description, and you can message me that way. So I hope everyone has a blessed day, and, I pray the Lord's with you as you go through these difficult times. If you're going through anxiety, depression, overwhelmed feelings, if you are sick or have family that's sick. I do pray for everyone every day. I think of it, and I just, we will get through this. This too shall pass. I know it's a cliche. I know it's scripture. I know it's something that may not feel like it, but it will, and I trust Him. So, okay, well, like I said, if you need prayer, put it down below, and have a blessed day. Bye.